Hello, how y'all doing tonight? Good to see you. It's been a great day. Very happy to be back home and very happy to be talking to you guys tonight. Just wanted to ask the question, is your child ready for college? I've been listening to some statistics lately, and it's actually kind of depressing. And so I wanted to come and share some things with you to make sure that you are aware of the kinds of things you can be checking for to make sure your child is ready for college. Hello there. Welcome, Marla. And so whether they're in middle school or in high school, it's a great time to ask the questions. Is my child ready for college? And as a parent, you've got to ask that question. You cannot assume because they have good grades or other things like that they're ready, because it actually takes a lot more for them to be ready. So I'm going to give you 10 or 11 words, and I want you to rate your child on a scale of 1 to 10 for each of these words, and it'll give you an idea of where they are. So the first word is responsible. Is your child responsible? Do they handle the things that they're supposed to do without someone having to remind them? That's 1. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate them? 2, is your child dependable? So when I think of responsible, I think of them doing what they're supposed to do for themselves. When I think of dependable, I think of them being someone that others can count on, that they're going to be there, that they're going to keep their word, that they're going to be on time. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give your child? Are they consistent? Like, can you always know, oh yeah, Ricky does la 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 la, or Susan's going to always be, I don't ever have to worry about her. So if she doesn't call me at so-and-so time, I know there's something going on. Are they consistent on a scale of 1 to 10? Are they independent? Are they able to get the things that they need to get done without having to come back to you or others to get help? So they can do it. Once you say handle it, they can go off and they can do it themselves. Are they independent? Are they leaders and not followers? That's really critical if you're getting ready to send a child off to college, especially one that is going to stay on the campus. You have to know that your child is a leader and not a follower. Because if they're still struggling with following, sending them to college might not be best for them. They might need to start at a community college where they're coming home and able to go back and forth, where you can check and see how they're doing with being able to make their own decisions and not be a follower. Academics, how are they? On a scale of 1 to 10. What do the grades look like? Organization, on a scale of 1 to 10. How organized are they? Do they have their, a system for how they keep track of their work and their folders and their homework and their assignments, or is everything just here, there, and everywhere, and they're looking for them sometimes and can't find them? Are they social? On a scale of 1 to 10. Can they go to the teacher if something's not going right in the class and have the ability to communicate with that teacher and be able to share what they need? Or if something's going on with their roommate, do they know how to go to the authorities and find a way to work that out? Or do they know how to just talk with their roommate and see what they can work out? Are they social? And then, are they resilient? How do they handle when stuff doesn't go right? Do they have the ability to bounce back, to get back up and try again? Or when something doesn't go right, do they just quit? Are they resilient? On a scale of 1 to 10. Are they biblical? Do they know what the Bible says about things? Because when they get to college, there's going to be so many people's opinions and ideas about life and lots of things. And do they know what God says about life and life situations? On a scale of 1 to 10, where do they fall? And then, are they wise? Do they know how to take the biblical principles and apply them to their lives? On a scale of 1 to 10, are they wise? So are they responsible? Are they dependable? Are they consistent? Are they independent? Are they leaders and not followers? Are they good in their academics? Are they organized? Are they social? Are they resilient? Are they biblical? And are they wise? And once you take all of those, add that all up, it's basically 100, a scale on 100 points. There might be 11 words in there. But that'll give you an idea, 70s C, 80s B, 90s A. And so that'll give you an idea of where your child is and how ready they are. If you think that this video might help someone else who is trying to figure out if their child is ready for college, please share the video. I really would appreciate that. But I want to talk a little bit more about rigor in their academics. There are statistics out by the National Assessment of Educational Progress, and it's called like the nation's report card, and there are some heartbreaking statistics. What they say is that 6 to 12% of African American students scored at or above the proficiency level in math. That's low. And what that's saying is that out of 100% of students, only 6 to 12% of them were at the level that they need to be in math in high school that would make them prepared for college. And then I did a little more research and found another study that said that only 7% of African American students were proficient in math and 17% were proficient in reading, ready and prepared to go to college. That's kind of scary, y'all. I mean, what in the world is going on? How could it be possible that 88 to 94% of African American youth are not proficient in math? How is that possible? It is unbelievable that that ratio is that high. And so that means that we have many students that we are putting into graduating from high school and putting them into the college situation who are not prepared, who are not ready. And it's not their fault. There's something going on with the rigor, the level of complexity, the level of difficulty that's going on in the high schools. It's not at the level that it needs to be so those students are prepared for college. So then those students have to go to college and take what are called developmental classes. Now, some students are just not strong in academics, and I think developmental classes are a wonderful segue for them from high school into college. They just need a little more time, a little more help. But for the majority of our students to not be proficient enough to be prepared to go to college, there's something wrong with that. And my question for you today is, do you know where your child stands? Are they in the 6 to 12% that are ready for college? Or are they in the other percentage, the 88% that are not? And this is the thing. Just because your child is getting good grades in school does not mean they're ready for college. You need to check and see what is the standard of that A in math. I've had students from high schools share with me that they have had math classes where they got a check for turning their math in. They got an A for turning their math in, but the math was never checked, which means the student doesn't really know if they got the answers right or not. But the teacher was so overwhelmed with maybe the number of students. There's just so many things that teachers are trying to deal with. And I'm not here to bash teachers. Let me tell you that. Because I know they have a hard job, and I think they are one of the most important jobs in our country. I am here to say to you as a parent, do not assume because your child has an A on their report card in algebra that is accurate. You're going to have to go a step further. You're going to need to go to the educational store, and you're going to need to go get you a couple of books, whatever math they've already completed, algebra or geometry. Get some books from the educational store or the library. The educational store, the answers are going to be there. The library has math books as well. That you can use, and they sometimes have the answers in the back, and maybe every other problem that they have the answer for. Go to the educational store and get a reading book to find out proficiency. Where is my child? Okay, he reads well, but does he understand what he's reading? Can he tell me back what he's read? That is important, and you cannot assume because they have an A in English on their report card that they have got it. Because if 88% of our African American students are not proficient, then that tells you that your student could be in that number. And if they are, you need to know, and then you need to begin to get strategies to help them get to where they need to be. In my opinion, we have an epidemic in our country. And African American students are the ones that are becoming the lowest on the totem pole in terms of their proficiency. And we have to decide to do something about it. And so I actually have a freemium, I call it, that I would love to give you. It is just some help, some strategies for how you can help to make sure your child is successful in school. I'm going to give you the bit.ly link. If you put this in, you can actually sign up for the freemium. It's bit, and that's B as in boy, bit.ly / that's bit.ly / must have for students. Hey there, Overseer. Good to see you. Hello, Dwayne. Thanks for joining. bit.ly / must have the number 4 students. Check it out. It'll give you some additional resources. But check this video out again if you are curious about whether your child is ready for college, because at the beginning of it, I list out some things that they should have if they are in actuality ready to go. And if they're not, it's not the end of the world. Just take a look at some of those things that I mentioned and then begin to figure out how can you help your child get better in those areas. So when they are ready to go to college, they will be prepared and they will be able to do well. See, the problem with sending a child to college and they have to do a year or two of developmental classes, which, by the way, you will have to pay for and they get no credit for them towards their college degree, is that many students give up because now it's going to take them 6 years to get a bachelor's degree. And some of them get tired in the process, and so they end up quitting, and they end up with no degree and a lot of debt. And that's a bad combination. And you don't want that for your child. So don't allow them to go to college unprepared. Even if that means they have to take an extra year in order to get the things that they need so that they can be successful. It's better for them to do that than to go in and fail. Although failure in college is not the end of the world, and they can always try again. But if you would like to give them the tools that they need in order to be successful the first time, then you can do that. Don't wait. Don't wait. It's not too late. All right, guys. Thanks for joining. Thank you over here at Periscope as well. Hope you guys have a fantastic evening. I love you. Good night.